That's the beat and on the mic with the street. Where we take it live and just
Yeah, Xander's looking at you crazy. And, I'm just not gonna look because it's just sad to me.
This is the pre-run. This is not the pre-run.
We've already did the pre-run.
Usually say
I already did the pre-run.
the mic ain't even ready.
Well, you can if you
Welcome to the Mike
if you
and You
stay
Pod-
ready. You gotta get ready.
Hey, welcome to the Mike and You podcast. This is your boy, the Mike A16 on Twitter. Hit me up. I'm with my main man.
I'm UNKC on Twitter,
There you go again.
and here with my little boy, and he's wide awake. Usually he's about to go to sleep right now.
But Uncle Mike's here with that soothing voice.
Okay.
Okay, the breaking news from ending of last episode was
I forgot all about that myself.
that starting in week 2, not this episode, but the episode after next week episode, which is what, 2 weeks,
I don't be knowing.
we are going to start giving away $10 gift cards. How to enter? Glad y'all asked. 2 ways. You can text 816-576-7100. Oh, that's
71.
Whoa,
5767102. What kind of
my bad. 816-654-6883. I don't know why the
576.
I don't. That's the radio stations.
It is
All
a
the
radio
all the radio stations. Whatever number they is.
Wow.
But 816-654-6883. You can text your MVP or your take, and you're automatically entered. Or you can call the voicemail hotline, which is the same number, 816-654-6883.
90210.
And you can tell us your MVP or have a take on the game, any game, whatever. And that's how you enter. And
Weekly, you enter weekly.
Yeah, 1 entry per week. So that means when Rob sit here and text us, that's 1 entry. When he call us, he only still got 1 entry. So
Because he calls us like twice.
yeah, when he calls 2 times,
2 takes a week. But that's cool.
I like
That's
Rob.
good.
The aura.
The aura.
Anything interesting happen this week?
Not really. I mean, nothing. Forget
We
that.
got
we
him.
ain't gonna go there.
The Mike slept good last night. He woke up, heard we had a monsoon or something.
We did, actually. I couldn't watch no TV. I was off Thursday, which is not normal for me because Thursday, Friday, I'm off. And Thursday, Friday, I'm off, but I normally work a lot of overtime. So yesterday I took off. Today I'm taking off. So it's going to be, it was interesting. Couldn't watch TV because the monsoon. So
That's what's up.
so we had to play Monopoly.
Also before,
Board with 2 people. Go ahead.
who won?
She did. She cheated. But go ahead. She cheated.
By the way,
That's my story. I'm sticking to it. She cheated.
did your mom cheat you?
No, my
Little
mom, my mother. Oh.
I meant to say Xander, but you came out. But anywho, there will be a drawing live on YouTube of the weekly winners, correct? Or
It should be, yes. That's the plan.
All right.
So that's 16 drawings, $10 gift cards. Look, man, we trying. We appreciate y'all listening. Y'all been hanging in with us for what, 3 seasons now?
3.
So,
And if you want to donate some gift cards or some cash, let us know.
shoot, we always take donations. Always. Like, donate your heart out.
Oh,
Tis the season.
while we here, let me ask you this question in Triple H form,
What?
DX form. Are you ready?
I don't even know what that. For what?
Real game start Thursday.
Yeah, you know what? About the real game thing. Actually, let's go on break. and then we'll come back and I'll answer that question.
816-654-6883. Yeah, we're back. We didn't have no phone calls or texts this week,
Nope.
which is cool. I didn't put nothing out, but just to show you that the phone lines and text line is always open. 816-654-6883. Before we left, I asked you, are you ready for the real games?
Absolutely. Come on now. I Chiefs preseason was on last night, and I was not really interested in watching it, but I watched it because I wanted to see some of the names that are on the practice
Bubbles?
squad
No.
and the bubble roster, and it wasn't good. It really wasn't good. I thought Juan Thornhill was going to play, but he didn't. I don't think. Anyway, um, shoot, I'm trying to think of the dude's name that caught the dude that ran out on the field. Can't think of his name. He's got two last names.
Oh, I know who you're talking
Not
about.
Duvernay Tardif, the other two last name guy on the team. But anyway, he gently tackled the guy. I'm like, I wanted to see a 1993 football hit on this dude.
He should, cause his head was turned,
I wanted to see it.
and he didn't see cause the dude who ran on, his head was turned. I wish they zoomed in a little bit farther, but they didn't. And dude gave him like you said, a little love tap.
That was a love tap. I mean, he might have got bruised by it, but I wanted to see a Madden 2003 get out my way and watch out as I come through it.
You wanted to see Derek Johnson hit on Mariota.
Yes, and get up with a because everybody cheered, and apparently somebody got on the field in another game too. I don't know what's going on, but
They got
don't you get a misdemeanor for that?
and get banned. They're gonna make football stadiums get nets like baseball.
Oh God,
That'd be horrible.
I think so too. But anyway, um, what is on the docket?
Let me ask you this question while you looking that up.
Okay.
What do you think about Green Bay? They traded to the Titans. Do you think more teams gonna start doing that?
They traded.
They traded like one of their cornerbacks to the Titans for a 7th-round pick or a 6th-round pick for next year's draft.
Yeah.
And do you think? Because Trent Green said something that
Intrigued you?
Yeah, he said that some teams should do that because I guess when all the players get cut, there's still that pecking order of what teams get picked first.
Right. Right.
So, do you think that more teams gonna produce trades where they can go ahead and get the guy that they want? Like, say for instance, Carlos Hyde. We already know he's not gonna be on the team playing in the 4th preseason game as a veteran.
Right.
So if let's just say Houston want him to help
Because they need a they need a running back
alongside Duke Johnson. So
right.
Houston come to the Chiefs basically because they already know he's gonna get cut, but Houston already know that the Raiders are in front of him.
Right.
All the
It's a
teams
because, like you said, there's a pecking order, and I guess the I'm trying to think of the real name for it. It escapes me, but either
Claims.
way, the waiver claim. That's it. The waiver wire. You have to with the waiver wire. You can go for any of these guys on the on the waiver wire. However, let's say the Chiefs are the third. It's like the draft. Let's say the Chiefs are number 32, and we want. Let's just throw a name out there, and we want Josh Norman, and Washington release Josh Norman. If we're number 32, if any of the other 31 teams want him, they put in a claim for him, and we'd have to wait and hope he gets down to 32.
They got so much time to claim.
Right. And if we don't do that, we won't. If somebody else picks him, we won't get him. As opposed to that, we can always just give up draft compensation, which is not a lot, But I mean, it's Josh Norman, but I'm only doing that for the fact that we need so you
A
can know who I'm
cornerback.
talking about. Anyway, we can give up a seventh round pick, which ultimately really kind of does. It's not as valuable in our arsenal. So we can give up a 7th round pick to make sure we get this guy instead of having to wait on the waiver wire. So I think it's a smart move. It's a move made by veteran savvy
GM.
GMs
Do you
as opposed to the new young bloods.
do you think more people gonna start doing that?
I think they should. If for some reason they don't, it tells me that they really didn't want this guy as much as they say they did. You
And
know what I'm
he just
saying?
looked up to us.
Yeah.
Uh, by the way, the chief safety who hit the streaker, Harold Jones Hythen Cordy.
Jones Cordy. That's it. I was just watching the video of it because in fact, I tuned in about 10 minutes before that happened, and then the game stopped. And of course, on TV they don't show the guy, and I understand why, I guess. But
They don't want him to be famous.
right, but I decided to look it up myself, and I'm like, that wasn't even a good hit. That wasn't even a good
He
hit.
got a little love tap.
I wanted to see some.
Mike Tyson punching.
He needs a misdemeanor ain't enough. You might as well get some real bruises. They might as well get some real bruises. Hit them for real. Anyway,
Let's start since week one happens next Thursday,
yep,
and this is our last podcast until after that game.
yep.
Let's talk about week one matchup. Is that cool? Or you want to
That's
what?
exactly what we was planning on doing. So let's go.
Green Bay
Aaron Rodgers,
is playing at Chicago to open the
Mitchell
100,
Trubisky.
open up the 100 season of the NFL, and usually the opening game reserved for the Super Bowl champs.
Right, but this is the one. This is the
Like
centennial season, and these are the two. What is the word I'm looking for? Marquee
rivals.
rival. It's a marquee rival in the NFL.
It's
They're two of the oldest franchises in the NFL.
I think it's
And
Chicago is 100 year. I think Chicago was actually one of the first of the NFL.
right, and then not only that, but it's also a division rival.
And Green Bay, they had history.
Right,
They had a bunch of bad blood.
always.
And I think I believe this is the 100 meeting between both of these
Now, that I
teams.
didn't know.
I
That
think
part I
it's
didn't know.
100 or 101st. One of them. It all ties into the centennial.
Centennial, I think it's
So
100.
that's why they pushed the Patriots back to Sunday night game.
Well, I mean, don't nobody want to see the Patriots anyway. So I get it.
Everybody wants to see the Patriots.
Nobody wants to see the Patriots.
You right. Nobody want to see the Patriots because they're gonna lay the smack down on everybody.
Not up in September, they ain't.
But in October through January,
Maybe
February,
November through January, February, yes, but
they
no, nobody. In September,
they
the
they the
Patriots
most vulnerable.
football. In September, Patriots football is the worst football.
And it's amazing that they. It seems like they don't care about the first 4 or 5 games.
They don't because
Then they
Tom
just
Brady
turn.
didn't play in the he didn't play in the preseason, did he?
He played a couple of games. He didn't play
I
that
don't.
much.
Yeah, and they don't play. They really do not play in the preseason. September is their preseason. It's weird, but hey, that's the thing.
So
Back to the Green
Green
Bay
Bay,
Chicago thing.
Matt LaFleur is making his debut, right?
Debut as a head coach, came
The
from
regular season.
Tennessee Titans as an offensive coordinator.
Now,
He's younger than I thought he was.
question: if the rumor's true, the past few weeks or a few months that Aaron Rodgers and LaFleur is not seeing eye to eye right now,
Hmm.
could LaFleur have the respect of the locker room?
Yes, he can. I don't know what you think about this, but apparently McCarthy and Rodgers didn't have the greatest relationship that whole time, even when they won the Super Bowl. So, if we're looking back like that, then I definitely agree. They believe that they can have a working relationship. I mean, nothing's wrong with a working relationship. You can. It's fine. We don't. I watch The Office,
Hmm.
and Stanley Hudson, he says we don't have to love each other. We just gotta work together, and that's it. You know. And I think people love to say family at work, which is weird, but I don't have to. No, I
That's
just gotta work with you.
that's like
Yes,
a
I spend.
cliche.
It is. Yes, I spend a third of my life with you during the week, but let's be real. I don't really have to talk to you unless I'll talk to you through the email. That's fine.
You really ain't got to talk to your family in real life
Ah,
neither.
well, I mean, that's true.
Okay, let me go to the Chicago side real quick. Can Nagy get more from his offense?
He got a lot last year from his offense.
Can he get
The
more?
question is, I got the question. Thank you. Because
You
I
know what I'm
feel like he
saying?
extracted a lot from his offense. Is what I'm saying. Last season,
I
and
think
so
so too.
can he get more? Only if Trubisky been putting in that work in the offseason. And I haven't heard
The reason I say ask you that question is because at sometimes last year they looked it good, like you said, you got a lot, but then he went into a let's get conservative.
He went into the Andy Reid playbook. He is Had Matt Nagy not left for the Bears, he would have probably been Andy Reid's heir apparent if he had stayed. He's the most like Andy Reid out of all his disciples, honestly, in my opinion. Um, looking at Doug Peterson, he is aggressive,
He got to let it fly
and
no matter
he,
what.
no matter what, he'll do whatever it takes to win. I feel like sometimes Andy decides he's only going to let so much of his playbook out, although he has 20 years of stuff that he's evolved over the years, offenses he's done, um, and he's only going to show you so much because he needs to save some for the rest of the season. This year, my challenge to Andy Reid is reach over your 20-year career. Mahomes is better now. Mahomes is more mature. Um, as a football player, he is too. Um, Start reaching now that 20 years of your experience and start getting some of those plays from 1999. Start getting some of those plays from 2003. Start getting some of them plays from even when you got here, 2013. Start getting some of those, using them. That way you still have those other plays you were talking about, other plays you don't want to show. You can use those later on. But anyway,
Before I ask you who you got,
yes,
the Mike got an electronic mail
electronic mail.
From Bob C, the Packer fan. You ready? The Packers and Bears. He said, "What can you say? NFC North battle. Rodgers versus Bears defense. Real question in the game is, has the Packers O line improved? Rodgers to Devontae Adams all game long. Packers 27, Bears 20." So let me ask you this. Real question in the game. Has the Packers O line improved?
I think it remains to be seen. Be honest with you, it sucks to say it like that because they do need to be better. They really need to be better, but I'm not saying that they actually are because I haven't seen it. Everything remains to be seen. And plus, I don't know if your best look is going to be versus Khalil Mack and Roquan Smith and Kyle Fuller with the cornerback situation. I don't know if I don't know if that's going to be your best look. So
And
you might
especially since they set out basically the last two preseason games
essentially,
because
yeah,
the Oakland Raiders game in Winnipeg, he set out most of the starter because his field got shorter.
yeah.
So
What?
he set out
Yeah.
33 players. Let me ask you this question. He said
You asked me about the
O line.
of the Packers, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay, gotcha.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Rodgers to Devontae Adams all game long. Do you see that happening?
Yes, the younger guys aren't progressing like I thought they would. I don't I don't have as much faith in them as I do, as I would have. Like the younger guys they drafted last year, I'm having issues trusting them, including the wide receivers. I'm just having issues trusting them.
And he, of course, he picked Packers 27, Bears 20. Let's go to this Rodgers versus Bears defense.
Uh,
Like, I'm gonna pick the Bears because Trubisky's my guy.
Needs
But however,
trade him in for a new model, bro.
however, I think the Bears gonna win because I think the Bears defense is better than the Packers defense. But you still Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
Captain.
But they kind of held him in check last year a little bit before he even got injured.
I don't. I have no idea how this game's gonna go. I From the jump, I would originally just say Packers will win. However, I don't know how LaFleur is going to do. His offense wasn't even that great with the Titans. But then again,
It was the Titans.
it was
Mariota.
Mariota. So
Or Mariotti.
let's be real. I mean, they oh, by the by, I can't remember their running back's name. Green Bay's running backs. Hopefully, they got a running game now. I think they just drafted a kid.
I forgot the other one.
But either way, if they get the running game going, then yes, they win. Because that'll help tire Khalil Mack and all them guys out. And then that'll open up the game for your passing, in my opinion, because that's one thing the Green Bay Packers have been lacking for quite some time is a running game. So I think you go out there and establish the run, they will be on their toes for the pass all the time, but you also keep Trubisky off the field, which I really don't think you have to worry about. But
Depends on which Matt Nagy plays he's calling. You know what I mean? If he's conservative, when he was been doing conservative plays, in my opinion, Trubisky got conservative, like even with his throws.
there's no killer instinct, uh, which upsets me. It always does. If you go balls to the wall in every game, it tells me that you have left everything you left on the field, and then there's no room for saying that you messed up. I tend to think that Andy Reid does it. I tend to think that Nagy did it last year, and that's why it was left off to the kicker. And if it happens again this
Their
year,
kicker's horrible.
all of them were horrible. They brought in 15 million kickers last year, and they still haven't figured out which one is going to be
And
great.
last night
And
kicker, extra point with 85 to the left.
it was
85 feet.
an extra point. Like these issues, your biggest weaknesses is what is going to get exploited in the playoffs. You know, if you, especially if you haven't worked on these things all season. So I forgot even what the question was. Sorry.
The question was Rodgers and Bears defense. But who you got? I got Bears.
I have the Packers.
All right, Bob C also talked about exhibition season.
Exhibition season. So
He said dump week 4.
dump it. Dump
and
week 3 too.
He said dump week 4 and let teams make cuts based on practice before week 1 starts.
Look, man, we've heard more on this preseason about. Um, uh, we've heard more from the coaches about the need to not have preseason games so much that it's definitely going to go down in the CBA. I just don't know how. I don't know if it's going to go down to 3. I don't know if it's going to go down to 2. But no one likes preseason games except for those third, fourth stringers that'll be practice squad guys.
Or it could make a team somewhere else.
Right. Those are the guys that want it. But let's be honest. While we say that, no one thinks about them as far as the CBA is concerned. You think about the guys who are playing right now. And that's why we got the rookies wage scale to be smaller back when not Landry Jones. Who's the other OU quarterback that got signed by the St. Louis Rams for like 72
Bradford.
million? Sam Bradford was making 70 something million dollars on his first contract.
He made over 180
million in his contract career just because of the time. He
Yeah.
was one of the last big signings for the draft. But anyway, I digress. You see these guys and you see the things that they want to change, and those like they don't have to give up a lot now. They might have to play an 18 game season for that because I think the owners want that a lot.
But at the same time, then he emailed some more stuff I'm gonna get to in a second. Sorry for blindsiding you with this.
I ain't
Uh,
no blindside. I'm
uh,
good.
one thing I think they will
Oh, look at
do
my drink, boy.
if NFL, oh I'm sorry, if XFL starting to fail, I think the NFL might start branching out to them.
I don't think
No,
so.
I'm just saying to save them a little bit.
I don't.
I do.
I don't.
I do think they need a development league,
I don't think
but
they. I think they needed development league, but they tried that with NFL Europe.
but it's
They
Europe.
tried that with
Europe
NFL
is
Europe.
soccer.
That's where they're trying to go. That's where they're trying to get a team.
Ain't
And we
nobody gonna
play a game in London
every
every year.
everybody gonna have a bye week after week one.
You think
Cause they give
you
international games. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But international games,
you think that they just playing London games just to say just for the fun of it?
no, they trying to get the whole league over there.
They're trying to get international. They already had a whole league over
They
there.
already international.
No, they're not.
They pack them stadiums.
They pack it for a game, 2 games, 3 games. Can it be sustainable over a 16 game
That's why.
season?
That's why.
That's the question.
But the
Also,
question is,
they got to get the logistics down to figure out how to. I don't want to
everybody
say
that has an
cheapest.
international game always have a bye week the following week. So you can have a team go there week one, have a bye week two.
You just put it in the middle of the season like they normally do.
So that means the Europe team gonna have a bye week 9 times during the season because they fly back home.
They won't have bye week. That's not gonna happen if you
So
try to get a
that's why
team.
I'm saying I doubt if they get a team over there.
I don't. I
They
don't
can
at
do it.
all.
To me, they
I
can.
don't
They
at
can.
all.
To me, they can do it in Mexico.
They
And they can
have.
do it in Canada.
They've had the best success in London. Their stadium is not 80 yards. Their stadium always immaculate because they play regular football there, football over there. Their stadium's always immaculate. They never have an issue ever, ever with the
So
stadium. They
so
never have an issue with the field. They never have an issue with the stadium. What are the two issues that we've had in our own continent trying to play out of the country? Field conditions, field situations,
but
and you don't have to worry about that in London.
however, they ain't gonna do it because
I disagree.
they ain't gonna get the other team a bye week every week.
I
But
disagree. It's
but
Raj is all about this international movement. He's going it. He's going for it. Uh, whether he's going the right way about it, I don't think he is, but he's going for this international crap.
so Bob C
It's
also
happening. It's happening. And if you got another owner like Tepper, if you can find another owner and get 1 or 2 extra expansion teams, maybe you put one. I'm trying to think. Maybe you put one in Mexico. Maybe you put one in what's the name in
Canada.
Canada, or
Don't
one,
you ever
or
disrespect my favorite state ever again?
either you put one in Tech. You whatever whoever's the owner's gonna be, they're gonna have to figure out a way to get that stadium built ASAP. Okay,
I think
and then they'll probably put one in London too.
I think Toronto probably get it
Toronto? You think
because
so?
they got a dome.
I thought Vancouver.
Vancouver probably can get it, but I'm
Just
just saying
because
Toronto already
they
got a
don't
dome. You know
Vancouver.
what I mean?
I'm trying to think. Vancouver doesn't have.
They don't have Memphis Grizzlies no
They
more.
don't have the Grizzlies anymore. They don't have 18, and I think Vancouver.
But yeah, if they do, I think they'll go one in Toronto and one in Vancouver on different sides of
Nah,
the United
I
States.
think it'll be Vancouver and in London. I really believe that. I'm. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Bob C also said Carly Lloyd will kick in the NFL next year if she learns a shorter setup on kicks.
I I don't know how I feel about that yet. I mean, the thing about it is, once an NFL play gets busted, which a kick is the least busted play of them all. But when it does get busted up, everybody's free for all. It's a free for all. And
As soon as she get hit by one person,
yeah, I don't,
that's a one. You shouldn't hit her like
I don't,
that.
I don't, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't want to see her busted up at all. But I do. I don't know if I don't really mind seeing a woman infiltrate the NFL. I said infiltrate. That has bad connotations.
But
I don't want. I want to see a woman
he just don't even know how you a misogynist, whatever the word is.
misogynist. I want to see women in the NFL. Like, okay, fine. Don't let's say you don't have a kicker on the field. What about the women coaches? What about the coaches?
And here's another thing.
You know,
It's gonna be interesting because uh regular guys limp after a hit.
absolutely.
So
I'm
it's
not. I'm not here to say a woman can't take it because women go through a lot, and we all know that. We all know that they experience pain that I couldn't even imagine. If if a kidney stone is anything like what
a birth.
birth is, y'all can have that joint. No, no, thank you. I don't want anything to do with it. I had a kidney stone one time. It brought me to my knees. It brought me to tears. I thought that day was my last day on earth. I was out here singing hymns on the what's the name bed on the gurney. I was out there singing Lord Jesus. I'm telling you, it was bad.
Slick Rick said the same thing.
It was bad. Okay, I took a week off of work. It was one kidney stone. I don't remember how big they said it was, but I remember that day like I will never, unless I get Alzheimer's, I will never forget that day. So we know women are strong, but
They biologically they have a higher pain tolerance than men.
obviously, but do I think dudes go out there with the want to hit her? Yes, I absolutely think that. You're not going to tell me that on a 53 man roster, all those guys are there are going to take it easy on her or going to look out for her. You're not going to tell me that. So that's my take on that. I would love to see it or something to that effect. I'd love to see like a coach, um, more women coaches in the NFL. I
Hmm.
look forward to that day, but I don't know about a kicker.
Okay, he also said Elliott and Gordon may sit out all year. Owners don't want big running back contracts anymore. Running backs are a dime a dozen in the draft.
Well, blame Gettleman for that. Blame Gettleman and the Mara family for that. They the ones sit here gave what's his face $32 million guaranteed.
Sasquatch,
Saquon
Barkley, that's my dude.
$32 million guaranteed, which is a lot. I think they gave him a 4 year deal for $32 million.
Baker Mayfield almost got a similar one.
That's $8 million a year. He got Saquon. He's good now. Saquon is really good, and they're gonna make that brother earn every ounce of that this season. But Saquon got on average per year the same amount as
He got more,
Devontae Freeman.
and he got more than Gordon.
Right, got more than like he got on average per year more than Devontae Freeman. Think about that. I don't even know how much guaranteed money Devontae Freeman got. What's name got paid over him? He's better than him, but let's be real. We didn't know that when he got paid.
Well, you was hyping him up, and I wasn't hyping Sasquatch up.
Yeah, hold on. I wasn't hyping Saquon up.
No, I'm talking about in the beginning because remember I was like,
I
nah, he
wasn't
ain't good.
hyping him up. Well, you're overstating
You
things.
was hyping him up,
I thought he would.
but he was the real deal.
I thought he would be okay. I thought he would have his struggles, but I didn't think he'd be as good as he was.
And you know that I wasn't a big fan of his.
That's true.
But by week 2, the mic was on all board. Let me ask you this question. He says, it's not really a question, it's a statement. He says, NFC is stronger than the AFC.
I don't know how people judge that. I never do. the NFC, their playoffs are like, I don't know how people judge. I really don't. The AFC has had their superpowers in the playoffs. Last year we saw the Steelers exit that. Now they're trying to get back. So it's like the Chiefs for over the last 4 years, the Chiefs, the Patriots, the Steelers, and then whoever's out of the AFC
Houston.
South. Mm,
Mostly been Houston.
no, when what's his face was there,
Luck. Healthy luck.
Luck and Chuck Strong, Chuck
Pagano.
Pagano was there. They won the AFC South every year, except for the last year. So
It's almost like the AFC
they,
West. No,
what
what
do
I
you
mean
mean
by
by
that,
that?
when Payne was in the division, then Andy came in the division.
Oh yeah, it goes in
They,
shit. It goes
yeah,
in
they dominate for four,
for 4 or 5
5
years,
years,
and
and the
then
next one
yeah.
dominate. That's what I'm
So
saying about that.
okay, but you see where Nagy was able to infiltrate the playoffs and win that whole division this year. Like Green Bay ain't been there in the past 3 years. Minnesota hasn't been there consistently in the past 3 years.
Basically,
Seattle hasn't won their
the
division.
NFC shows you more of what the NFL is meaning anybody can get to the playoffs.
Right.
Anybody can get to it.
I'm trying to think. You got the Saints, obviously. Uh,
But that
and who's the superpower after that?
the Rams right now.
That's only
I'm,
been 2 years.
I'm just saying.
That's only been two
But Seattle
years.
as well though.
You got Seattle makes the
They made the
playoffs.
playoffs, but remember they went to back to back Super Bowls. They won one, lost one.
You know that I don't even consider that recent history.
But it was though.
It's not. You can't. That wasn't even 5 years ago.
It
That
was
was
recent.
2013. Five
No,
years. This is
Patriots been to 4 straight Super Bowls, and they went through Seattle the first one.
that was 5 years ago. They went to the Super Bowl. That was 2013 when Andy Reid got here.
Oh, they
Yeah.
won it against Denver then, cause they beat Denver in 50.
Okay. Okay. That's 4 years ago.
Then they lost in 51
That
to
was
the.
4 years ago. This is a different NFL.
No, I'm just it ain't that different.
It's different.
It ain't that
Who was the
different.
dominant defense last year? Who was the number one defense last year? You tell me. Who was the number one? Who were the dominant defenses in 2013-14? Denver and Seattle. Dominant. Absolutely dominant. Who was the dominant defense last year?
The Patriots.
Who was the dominant defense last year?
The Patriots. After everything said and done, the numbers pointed to the
No, the
Patriots.
numbers did never pointed to the Patriots. They changed
Not
up a game plan.
not in the regular season, did but
No,
we mixing it up
answer
after that.
answer the
Anyway,
question that I have on there and stop deflecting. Answer the
who
question.
the Rams?
Who was the dominant? I can't tell you. I don't have any answers because no one cared about defense. This is a different NFL.
And
Last year was all about offense. You got Dak Prescott throwing for 4,000 yards. You got what's his name up in the Bengals. You got him throwing for close to 4,000 yards. It's a
the
different
Patriots
it's a
had dominant
different
defense.
as we move on. All right,
He
Tony Romo.
one more.
I'm almost about tired of your shenanigans over here.
Two more. Carlos Hyde will get picked up by the Houston after the Chiefs cut him.
Somebody's gonna pick him up. I mean, he's not ideal for this system because we actually got younger guys ready to roll.
The Mike
but-
loves 25, Darwin Thompson. He should be the starter over Darren Williams.
Now, I don't know about that. Darren Williams, Darren Williams is pretty good, dude.
I'm not saying he's not.
And he's better than Darwin, even in the catching and the blocking. Darwin's
he has to learn how to block.
He's gonna evolve. He better evolve. But I love Darwin Thompson. When he came out, he was, besides Juan Thornhill, he was my second guy that was gonna be a breakout player. But yeah, Carlos Hyde, we thought he was gonna be on this depth chart.
And one more that he said, too early Super Bowl prediction, like his preseason, Packers versus Chiefs, have a great show. I don't think the Packers are going to make
Packers versus Chiefs
in the Super Bowl.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I think the Chiefs
I
or the
got the Chiefs,
Patriots. It's the only two teams I know in the AFC that's gonna make it. The
and the
NFC
NFC
is
seems
wide
wide
open.
open to me because I think the Rams gonna regress.
Uh,
Eh,
depends on the Saints defense on their part.
I think it depends on their offense too. It depends on what because last year we saw, like I said, we saw the boom in the offensive play calling because of the rules.
Mhm.
Obviously, they wanted more offense. How many interceptions? Like how many interceptions will Breeze throw? He only threw two last year, so that has a lot to do with it. Him and Michael Thomas have a chemistry like none other, so that'll be fine.
Thanks, Bob C, for the questions
Well,
and comments
thank you so much.
via electronic mail.
I got some. Tony Romo reportedly wants $10 million to stay at CBS. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that would make him the highest paid
Ever.
ever. Because I think the closest somebody's getting is $6 million, maybe seven, and I don't know who that is.
I'll
But
be
that
like,
would make him $10 million a lot.
I would be like, instinct. Bye, 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 bye.
Okay, what you know about that?
That's the only song I know about them.
What? Anyway,
Would you
that's
pay
like the
you
second greatest song in my opinion.
you
But
CBS? Would you pay? Oh, I like that one song. Go. Don't they sing "Go"?
yes, they do.
So I know
That was
too.
towards the end of their career.
As a group.
I think that might have been their last single. Anyway,
But would you pay him if you CBS
not $10 million.
7?
Who do you think he kidnapped? Chelsea Clinton?
You look like Chris Tucker.
Shut up. uh, uh, I it's
What?
typical negotiation. You
You
start
start
as high
high.
as you can think of that is in the realm of possibility.
I would just say here's 7. You the highest.
I think the seven is where he eventually wants to
But you know
go.
who's gonna pay him that 10? And they need him.
ESPN.
Ding-a-ling, right?
Ding-a-ling,
What?
okay.
Ding, ding, ding,
No,
whatever.
ding-a-ling, no thank you.
What?
I think ESPN needs somebody
Because
because
Disney would pay that. Because
you
Disney
say
own
somebody will pay you everything all the
Disney
time,
Disney own ESPN,
but I don't.
ABC. Disney own it all.
Have they found somebody to replace Witten yet?
No, because whoever they got
Because
sucks.
CBS got somebody waiting in the wings until they
They could
figure
throw
out.
Phil Sims back in
Oh God,
with Jim
no!
Nance.
Please don't throw Phil Sims back
No,
out
I'm just
there.
saying that's what they're gonna do.
I don't want to see Phil. Like, I wish they would just go ahead and pay this man what he needs because I'm tired of Phil Sims. Phil Sims wasn't that. Okay, I was gonna say he wasn't that great a quarterback. That's a lie. He's a decent quarterback. Um, Phil Sims is not a great announcer. I'm sorry. In fact, what's the saying? You're only as strong as your weakest link. Phil Sims, you are the weakest link.
But the answer to Bob C question, well, it really wasn't a question. The reason I say AFC better than NFC because of CBS is better than Fox in my opinion on commentating. You know what I mean?
I get it. I get it.
I like Kevin Harlan because I get used to him when he do basketball for TNT and stuff. So I get to hear him a little bit more.
I
Not
like the
because,
quality of his voice.
yeah, not because he live in Overland Park, Kansas.
I had no idea.
Yeah, he a local guy. That's why when he,
I had no
that's why
idea.
if you ever notice, if he has a Chiefs game, he know all these players and all. Not
No, I
because,
definitely noticed that.
and even when he doing other games, he'll throw a Chiefs reference in there
Every
or
so
whatever,
often.
or a
Basically,
KU or
basically like
MU.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. You always throwing it back somewhere over there. Anyway, I think Romo gets close to that. Anyway, let's go to this last one for me. Gronk's post-retirement career.
Before we go there,
Okay,
the mic has a question for you,
we got
sir.
15 minutes, bro.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, Peyton Manning, 539 touchdowns. Drew Brees, number 2, 520. And Thomas Edward Patrick Brady, number 3, 517. Do they catch Peyton Manning? Okay, Drew Brees is 19 away. Do he catch and become the all-time touchdown leader
This season, yeah,
this season?
yeah,
I'm just asking.
yeah.
By
easily.
what week?
Let's see, 2 a week, 10. Let's say week 8, maybe week 6.
Do Tom Brady end up in second place ever
Yes,
next year?
he will definitely end up in second place. And one of the things I think, one of the reasons I think Drew Brees still playing because he wants that record. He
Cause
can't. He'll never get MVP. I will say it. I will say that. In fact, that's my, what do they call it? You can sound the alarm right there. Wait, 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 wait. Anyway, he will not ever get MVP in this league. So I figured Drew Brees needs to hang his hat on something, and having that record, I think he will need. I think that's something he'll be willing to hang his hat on.
so basically, Brady's needs 22 to become second,
He'll get that.
and Brees need 20 to become the all-time
It
leader
only way Brees doesn't hang his hat on that is if he wins another Super Bowl.
or
If
get
he wins a
injured.
Super Bowl this season, then he won't. Then he'll be fine with somebody passing him. But if he doesn't win a Super Bowl, I think he might even be back for another year. Although Brady will catch him eventually. So
Okay, on to Gronkowski.
Gronk's post-retirement career, I guess he will be into the CBD, um, for recovery, for sports recovery.
Mm-hmm.
He's going into the CBD business. Um, did you watch the press conference?
Don, she sent me the clips of it,
Okay.
and
What's up, Don?
everybody is a lot of people going to the CBD thing,
I mean, yeah.
and he was emotional about it and about his playing career, how he didn't like playing no more.
He lost his love for the game, and you saw it. I mean, you saw more than his loss of love. You also saw the loss of ability in that last season. He played a year too long, in my opinion.
And
But
that's interesting because he only played 9 years.
right,
Well, he was in the league 9, and I know he sat out mostly every game
and he missed the season due to injuries. In
and
fact, he
half the
missed.
seasons.
Does he have?
His
He has
first
3 rings, right?
first Super Bowl he missed.
So he could have
No,
had.
no,
I
I'm
think it
sorry,
was the
second one
second,
with
yeah.
Atlanta he missed, but the first one he played
But he could have had more rings than what he had he been better
because
with the injuries.
they had to do playoff runs without him.
I think that press conference for Gronkowski was more damaging to the league than a lot of things that we say are damaging to the league. And whatever it is escapes me right now. But um, seeing him break down like he did, over his disinterest for the game at this moment in time, him trying to recover off of all those injuries he had, him not being able to walk a week after the Super Bowl, like that. I was listening to it while I was cutting the grass, which I still haven't finished. But I was like, wow, dang, man. Cause I didn't see the jubilant Gronk. I didn't see the guy
Be
who
dancing on the
dances in the grocery store and plays around in the grocery store. I didn't see that guy. And for the first few years of his career, you saw that guy. You never saw him switch to the Mr. Serious, but you saw less and less of him. And I think he started to lose his spirit the more he played, the more he started to lose his spirit. And jeez, man, you don't want to lose your soul like that to this
and
game just for a few $1 million.
and just think a
A few.
few,
That's it.
no, just a few
Few.
people booed Andrew Luck for doing the same thing,
Yeah.
retiring before that.
And by the by, we did have an interview with DB Coast that I will put out there eventually, but I'm trying to get better audio quality with that. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So and that's why I said a few because I don't want to lump all Colts
Well, yeah.
fans with that minor action. And we as people that don't play the sport no more or just spectators,
Hmm.
we always say what we think the person should do. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. And
And
that's what we
when
quote
Andrew
unquote get paid for.
when Andrew Luck decided to say, I have no passion for the game, he did the right thing.
Yeah, that's you go out there have talent it, then that's when you get hurt the most.
We play pickup basketball, not me and you, but when I used to play pickup basketball, you know, it'd be rough first 4, 5, 6, 7 games. I'm talking about you might catch an elbow, not on purpose, but
No, you catch elbows. It's more like basketball. I mean, what is it? Football.
hey, but nobody get hurt. You like
Mm-hmm.
you feel it, but it
You
don't
feel it
hurt.
afterwards.
But with that last game, when a few people want to still play and everybody's tired and the passion ain't there no more, that's when you see the most injuries occur, twisted ankles,
True.
all that. So I commend Andrew Luck for stepping down.
I just, with that Gronk thing, I just seeing him be formal is one thing. Seeing him break down when he kind of teared up about how he was feeling and explaining that, bruh, I was, I don't know if I was shook. Whatever level was above shook, I was there. You know,
But I'm quite sure he will be in the WWE ring pretty soon.
the way, like, I wonder. I mean,
It's like this.
as
Vince
long as
will
he,
pay him like 10 grand, 20 grand for one night of action, and they'll tell him take a light on Gronk, give him a
they
light
will,
bulb.
they will be his, they will be on his terms.
Yeah, that's
So
what I'm
as
saying.
long as
I'm
that,
not saying he's gonna be a permanent dude, but he's
right,
gonna be like Shaq when Shaq got in the
you're
battle
right.
royal
If
and
it's
all
on his
that.
terms, absolutely, yes, absolutely. But it just kind of it was like, wow, he really does not need to play anymore. Although I saw that on the field the last game,
But he
but seeing him not have that passion was enough for me to just not think he needs to play
like
anymore.
I said, one of our few last episodes from last year, I told you he was basically the Robert Ory of the
Right,
Patriots. Like
he's the
he
X
he
factor
he showed up at crunch time.
when you need him, and he did this last year too. So
So kudos to him for retiring on his terms, even though his body told him to. He
right,
did it, and everybody don't want to be like Earl Campbell.
oh,
You know what I mean? It breaks your heart.
you don't want to see. I don't want to see you walking off the field. I'm sorry, Brett Favre always is in my head. Seeing him hobble off that field in that purple uniform was wow. Anyway,
But he still got
he's
healthy.
still he's still he's so much better than he used to look. So, um, FYI, we did do an emergency podcast with DB Coates, my brother, on Sunday because his team is the Colts, and I will put that out there again. I just haven't cleaned up the audio, and I might that might be as clean as I can get it because the intern hit me up and said this was kind of rough, and I'm trying to clean it up as much as I can after the intern cleaned it up. But we'll do. I'll do what I can because that conversation went a lot longer than I thought it would.
It was a good one though.
It was a real good conversation, and
Tell
I
y'all
listened.
start hating on my Patriots, baby. Or what y'all saying though? My Antonio Brown got CTE tape.
No, it was the Jacoby Brissett thing.
Jacoby Brissett.
It was the Jacoby Brissett
He's the GOAT.
that you think he can
He
give.
could be a star.
You think he can give the Colts a winning season?
No.
You did say
said,
that.
I said if he had somebody like Andrew Walter Reed in his corner,
You did say that.
or
Too.
Belichick and Josh McDaniels in his corner.
You did say that too.
And I did say he has a Super Bowl ring.
You all okay? I'm gonna keep moving. Do you have a 2 minute drill, sir?
Not today. Just be kind to each other.
I do. So you sent out this tweet a little bit ago, and the caption under it or over it was, "Is this true?" And it was the average price of a date in the U.S. And I looked at Missouri's, and it said $71.08. So it's
What?
a picture of America showing the average price of a date in the USA. I live in Missouri, and the date is, the price is $71.08. What you doing on a date that costs $71? You're a single man, correct?
Yes.
What the heck are you doing on a date that costs $71?
I'm not paying for
I date
it.
now. I date my wife. That's legit. I date my wife. I've dated her for the last 4 years. Um, 4 years we've been married. 5 years in April. But I don't think I've ever spent $71 on a date. I don't think I have ever. Okay, you might let's minus anniversaries, and that's once a year.
Hmm.
Went to Capitol Grill one time, and you know that's gonna
The
cost
mic
seventy
never
one
been
dollars.
high, is it?
It's really good. I love the steak.
The mic
You
just
could tell a good high price steak over them cheap sirloins you get. Anyway, not you specifically, but cheap sirloins at Logan. You know what? Let me not call out these steakhouses. But you can tell the higher price cuts. But yeah, aside from anniversaries, I don't think I've ever spent $71 on one date. Shoot,
uh
I got a picture on Facebook about a time where we had a date where we went to Hy-Vee and just got hot dogs and just hung out.
that's the best dates.
I'm not out here trying to spend $71. I didn't even spend $71 trying to get her to go out with me, like trying to get her to be interested in me. Y'all spending $71? How much y'all getting paid out here in these streets? Like, can I get what y'all are doing? I don't know. Y'all better hit up some Chili's 3 for $10 deals.
Okay, let me ask you. Let me ask you this. Like my best date ever. I only went out with this chick one time. Best date ever. I spent.
How in the world is it?
That's the best date ever.
Really? Okay.
I spent about two things of ice cream from Cold Stone
Oh
or
God, I hate
Stone
that place.
Cold or whatever. We was on a path,
I don't like
and
that
we
place.
walked around the track just talked. That was my best date ever. It only happened one time.
Well, shoot, it was $70. Yeah, she was waiting on you to spend $71, and you spent a seventh of that
Huh.
on Cold Stone for both of y'all. That's why it was only one date.
Yeah, but
You think that was the reason for real?
she was a damaged woman. No offense to damaged people.
Everybody's damaged in some way, shape, form, or fashion. There's no normal.
No, she
There
was.
is no such thing as normal.
You know, outside Twitter, outside of social media and podcast, the mic is antisocial,
Okay.
and and the mic is pretty genuine. The mic don't tell people that, but the mic is genuine outside of everything. And she think it was a motive behind it, but there was no motive.
It
When
happens.
and when damaged people think there's a motive and can't find no motive, they just
It doesn't make sense to them.
so
That's all.
I just let people be. You know what I mean?
It just don't make sense to folks. But you know,
But I'm trying.
actually, my
Well,
wife.
movies is like $80 nowadays.
You can't, like, for some reason you
That's a
can't go
bad
to the
first date.
movies. It is a horrible first date.
So you can't
But
talk and get to know each other.
right, but when I went out with my wife, I actually already was studying her a long time before I ever asked her
So
out.
you're stalking
Every form. Let's
her.
rewind. Every form of getting to know anybody is one form of stalking. Anybody who eventually dates anybody has stalked them at some point, whether you're a woman or a man. I remember being in this relationship. It only lasted 3 months, less than 3 months actually. But she actually kind of, I don't know how she did this, but she kind of stalked me a little bit. So it's a little weird, but whatever.
It's weird when you get stalked, but it's okay for you to stalk people.
Hey, getting to know them is not stalking them. What somebody said, a woman said, I want to get to know you. I'm like, shoot. She said something like, well, get to know me then. I'm like, the dude was asking you out on a date at that moment.
So
How else he supposed to get to know you?
so
Social media?
the mic want to ask you, what is Illinois doing for $157.96?
I have no idea, but you got to think about Chicago and they high prices over there.
They hot.
They got some high prices.
What's up with Maryland? $209.33.
No wonder folks still single out in these streets.
I can understand Connecticut at $230.34 because the whole state of Connecticut is rich people.
The whole East Coast is just too much for my blood. Too rich. Too rich.
New Jersey, $259.
I need to move to Mississippi. And by the by, what you doing in Mississippi that costs $68.29? What the devil you doing in Mississippi that costs $68.29?
Hey, the mic moving.
I know Mississippi.
Hey, the mic
must be spending them prices on gas trying to get to where you need to go.
The mic gonna move to South Dakota. $38.27.
Good luck finding somebody in South Dakota.
All right. Remember, next week, call us up. Jabba, you can talk about anything.
Oh boy,
he always tweet me.
Don't offer that to him, cause he was tweeting me, tweeting us, talk about delete that last one I had. I got the intern to send it to me, and I'll let you hear it after the show.
Yeah,
it wasn't as bad as he thought it was, but he was
drunk.
He was inebriated, so he didn't want it out there. So we respect his wishes. We was definitely gonna put it out there.
Jabba Trump, the drunk.
The intern hit me up and asked me if I wanted to put that on there, and I was like, yeah. He called in, and that's what we want. So put it out there. Next thing I know, the next day, Jabba's like, don't put that out there.
See, Jabba, you see why the intern go through you, not me? Because I ought to put it out.
Put it out there. Put it out there ASAP. Don't give him the chance.
I'll fire you from your free gig.
See, you always talk about that.
But anywho, until next time, be safe. You got anything else?
I don't think so.
Right.
There will be the other podcast about the Andrew Luck time, and that's coming.
Also, send us your take, what y'all think about the game. Give us your previews. Matter of fact, next week, give us a previews of all the games. I'm about to tell you the games real quick, right fast. Green Bay at Chicago, Tennessee at Cleveland, Baltimore at Miami, Atlanta at Minnesota, Buffalo at the Jets.
You can look all that up yourself.
Washington at
Send
Philly.
it to us.
That ain't right. The biggest game of the week. What's your biggest game of the week?
I don't really have one.
Okay, we got to talk about it next week. How about that? Give you time to study. Until next time, be safe, be easy, and remember, bad meter squeeze.
Deuces.
Pockets Uncle Phil, yeah, pockets Uncle Phil. I ain't walking on Saturday, or this to a hobby. I put on that skirt, think I'm Ricky Bobby. Stay working my nerves, got left in the lobby. Like, yeah, I know it hurts, want it for everybody. But you cannot finesse, better come correct. Tell her, call me hef, you won't touch my check. No, bring up the rest, so stay on my text. Stay on my text, stay on it. No when I pull in the lane switch, shawty can't handle the changes. Shrugging like, what can I say, sis? No. Tell her that baby you're famous. No, I ain't saying it's famous. I know you got feelings, okay, but that's what you get when you let your heart.